Hi, I'm Elizabeth D'Orazio, coming to you from the center of Claremont, where Groups Recover Together is conveniently located at 24 Crescent Street. They're here fighting on the front lines against opioid and addiction right here in Claremont and throughout the Upper Valley. We're going to learn about their unique methods and the way they can help our friends and family. Today, I'm joined by the clinical director, Heather Prebish, and she's going to give us the inside scoop on how they help us. Thank you.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Beautiful facility. I love the cheery atmosphere, and the moment you walk in here, you sense something's different about Groups. So tell us a little bit about how you came to Claremont and what you're doing here.
So we started about 3 years ago, actually, and Claremont was our first site. Groups was founded by a gentleman named Dr. Jeff DeFlavio, who was attending medical school at Dartmouth, and he was really struck by the number of people that were struggling with opiate addiction in the Upper Valley and the lack of resources. So he committed to creating a treatment model that was high quality, and really went about making treatment accessible to everybody in need. So, as I said, Claremont was our first office, and since then we've expanded to multiple locations, both in New Hampshire and out as well.
And anytime we hear on the news about an overdose, or we hear about someone who's relapsed, friends and family, we look at Facebook posts, a lot of us are saying, what can we do? You know, how do we take that step? Groups has a unique approach to dealing with the opioid crisis. Tell us about how you know, through your development process, you created a multifaceted way of dealing with this.
So the approach at Groups really was largely based off of DHMC's IOP program, which looked at combining medication-assisted treatment, specifically the use of buprenorphine medication, in conjunction with group therapy. By bringing people together, many of whom have been isolated for a long period of time, and connecting them with peers and supports, and then receiving the medication under a physician, it really just allows people to get their lives back on track, to stabilize, to reconnect, and essentially get their lives back in order.
And that's anyone who has family or friends who are dealing with this, whether you've started the process of healing or whether you're trying to decide what to do, consistency is key.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, you know, I think from the perspective of friends and family, I think we really have to, you know, get rid of any stigma or, you know, negative stereotypes that we may or may not have about people that are struggling with addiction, and connect and seek out. You know, we're one organization, but there's a lot of different resources available in the state. And so it's about just looking for help. And, you know, we know based on data that people that have family and friends involved in their recovery have much better outcomes than those who don't.
And one of the statistics that's overwhelming is people who have that support system, like you mentioned, not just the medical therapy, but also the support system of a community like this at Groups. The success rate is much higher.
Absolutely. I once heard that the opposite of addiction is connection, you know, and really when people are in the depths of an addiction, they're very isolated. So it's about changing that dynamic, bringing people together, providing support, having peers that you can turn to who understand what it's like to be in recovery, and to just provide that support that's so needed along the journey.
If we know of a friend or a family member, or maybe ourselves are struggling, what is the first step to get in contact with Groups to make sure we get the help we need?
Yeah, that's a great question. So it's really just a matter of calling our 800 number, and you would speak with an intake specialist who would gather some preliminary information, and get you assigned to meet with a counselor and a physician. One thing that's unique about Groups is we don't have wait lists. We believe that if someone is ready to reach out for help, that's a very critical window. So we don't have wait lists, and we usually get people in within a couple of days.
That's huge.
So they meet with a counselor who does a full intake assessment. They meet with a physician who does a medical evaluation. They receive their initial prescription for the medication, and they're assigned to a group. So they get stabilized on the medication, and then they start attending group therapy, usually within a couple of days.
That's amazing. I want to thank you for joining us. And if you heard that, there are no wait lists here at Groups. So if you know someone, friend, family, someone close to you or someone you know of who may need the help of the people here at Groups right in the center of Claremont, make sure you call their 800 number. They're here to help right away.